Okay. So we should be pretty straightforward today. I'll open it up. I'll introduce everyone. Everybody's name right on the screen. Excellent. Aaron, did you spell your name right?
I managed to, yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're always giving you a hard time, Aaron.
That's okay. They know I can handle it, so.
That is true. That's very true.
Steve, are you hearing a buzzing? Anybody else?
Yep.
I did hear the buzz.
Huh. Not sure where that would be coming from.
I should say, Nicole, are you in a bad space again?
No, I'm the same place I was this morning. Like, I hear the fan though on my computer, and I wonder if that is what you're hearing.
Huh.
Is
Hang on one second.
Running?
Let's find out. I'm going to mute you.
I saw.
Yeah, that might be it. That's fine.
So we go through this because Nicole and I host a bunch of meetings in the morning, and so I'm sending her messages like, "I think you need to mute because I think you're
I'm the problem. I'm the problem."
Oh.
What do you do? What do you do when you're the host, right? And you're like, well.
Hey, we're in the it is what it is. Like, this is real life. Absolutely. This is what's happening right now. Yep. So
hopefully it'll cut off when it feels like, I guess, it's cooled down or whatever the problem is with it. IT's like, it's fine. It's just noisy. It's fine.
No worries at all. So this will be pretty straightforward. I'll open it up. I'll try to introduce everyone. I'll cover all the super exciting stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about Aaron, you inverted again. Oh, that's weird.
What?
There you go. I'm going to talk about City Hall, some of the reopenings we have there, briefly about the Hunter Park testing expanding a little bit, and the basic news stuff, the boring stuff. Aaron's got a few things that he's going to cover that is more happy, exciting stuff. So he's taking the Chief Happiness Officer role this week from Allison, temporarily. So he's going to cover the fun stuff, and then we'll talk to you guys about all the different things that you guys got going on with United Way. Is there anything particular you want us to hit on or talk about or cover today?
Nicole?
Probably just the Douglas virtual nonprofit roundtable that we're hosting weekly with the Chamber and Georgia Power. Okay. We had 30 nonprofits or 30 people join us this morning for that, and that's been really helpful to those that are on the call, connecting with one another.
Okay.
Nicole, did you want to mention the roundtable that United Way is doing next?
Oh, the virtual town hall next Thursday. Yeah, we can mention that.
I'll let you mention those. I'm here for support. This is your turn. I've done this once already, so now it's your turn.
I love it. Just come and clean up behind me, okay? Like, whatever you're very adept at. So you know the drill.
I gotcha. Oh,
nice. And we'll keep it nice and simple, nice and positive. We usually kind of toward the end talk about what all we're doing, kind of sheltering in place. You got any kind of shows you're binge watching, any board games you're playing with your families, what you guys are doing to remain sane. So we'll do some kind of fun chatting at the end. So just so it stays.
That's great. I'm sure I've got all kind of great ideas being a newlywed sheltering in place. So
absolutely.
Oh, sorry, honey. I forgot you're still sitting there, aren't you?
This is a family show, though, Bianca. So
I promise it's nothing like that. We have gotten very creative. Nothing like that. No. Despite our family's input, nothing like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. You're newlyweds, so you've been inundated already, I guess, with it. When are we getting grandkids, right?
So March probably 18th, the family was like, so since we are quarantined, how about that baby? And we're like, no.
How about not?
We're like, y'all, we haven't even made it to a year. Like, we're not in July yet. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
They don't care. It's fine. It's okay.
All right. Steve, just out of curiosity, on your screen, where is everyone?
I have you in the upper left hand corner. Bianca is to your left in my upper right hand corner. Aaron is directly below you. And then Nicole is in the right hand
Diagonal.
lower
Right.
square, yeah. And Paul Lind is in the center square.
Excellent. So that's everybody's
is funny.
different on my screen.
So
So Bianca is there.
no. Bianca is the other way, yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron is there.
Here, let me send you a picture.
And Nicole is there.
There. Yeah.
Nicole is there, yes.
Okay.
Oh, this was fun. So much fun.
I'm gonna take little pictures on my screen so I know where everybody's. I got post-it notes. I can put post-it notes on the screen.
Trust me, I understand. So even when Nicole and
Am I
are
still
doing
muted?
meetings,
I'm
I
not
can
muted.
see her
That's
looking at people, and I'm like, wait, where's she looking?
I
I'm like,
know.
yep.
And I've done that before too on video invites. I'm like, that looks just messed up because
Yeah, I wish there was a way to kind of you sync them, so or something. Pin people in the places so they're all the same across everywhere.
That would be no fun, Jason.
Yeah,
What fun
last
would that
time
be?
I was pointing at people and I was pointing at the wrong people. I was saying, let's go to Sarah. No, that's not Sarah.
no, that's not where she is.
Okay, I sent a picture to group me, Jason, if you need a referral, a reference.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, see, that confuses me even more because I'm in the wrong place. That's why it's confusing. So,
Uh-oh.
but when I point at Bianca, that's correct.
Yes, that's
Even though
correct.
I'm backwards. Okay.
That's correct, yes.
I need to remember Aaron.
That's Aaron. And that's
Nicole is
Nicole.
Yep.
I can make that work.
You know, someday we're actually going to be able to meet each other face to face again. I'm just believing that's going to happen.
What fun is that, though?
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. I mean, this is so great. Like,
I'm actually loving this whole Quadcast thing we've been doing.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah.
working.
The audio sounds really good today, so that's good.
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Nicole and I have hosted 3 of them now, like these virtual like meetups for COB women. And so we've done coffee in the morning. We did
Wine.
cocktails in the evening, which was great. And so you got to see everybody. So we understand. So we're like, oh, okay, wait. Yep, you know what? Never mind. We'll just call out people's names.
I know. Yeah.
Just
Easier
call
that
out
way.
everybody's names. It's okay.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to mute myself, Jason.
All right, we'll get started then. Yeah, it's just about time. So nice, calm, and easy and relaxed. This is a non-stress format. So, all right, I think we're ready to go. So hello and welcome to another episode of Douglasville Impact, our community podcast. And this is the 3rd or 4th episode that is happening in our Quadcast social distancing format here, which is all kinds of fun. We've been loving this. So we want to thank you guys for listening and watching and joining us. I want to welcome to the screen our special guest today. If I can remember where everyone's at, Miss Bianca Ashwalker. It's over here. In the lower corner here, we have Miss Nicole Lawson. And joining us again down below, I believe, is Mr. Aaron Sarowitz.
Hey.
So we're going to cover a lot of fun stuff. Today, we're going to talk about a lot of what United Way is doing in the community, talk about a lot of things going on in and around the community, and a little bit about what the city's doing. I'm going to cover that stuff right away off the bat, so we get all the boring stuff out of the way and talk about some of the more fun stuff. So let's jump into just a little bit of the city news, as it has to do with City Hall here. So today is April 30th. As of Monday, May 4th, very limited reopenings are going to start happening around the community. City Hall itself will have some very limited spaces that are going to be opening back up to the public on Monday. Mainly that's going to be the lobby right here at City Hall, which will give you access to the front lobby and the finance window if you need to access the finance department to pay for anything. We're going to have some very limited openings back up over at our parks. The open spaces, the outdoor spaces and trails and stuff will be accessible, but Hunter Park will remain closed as it is a testing site still for COVID-19. Cobb Douglas Public Health is still using that site to do drive-through testing. So as long as they're still there, the whole park's going to be off limits. But aside from that, some of the other parks are going to open some of their spaces and stuff back up. The public safety complex, the front atrium at our PD will open back up to the public, so you can get in and you can access the court's pay window if you need to. The courts themselves are still going to have their public hearings delayed until May the 20th, I believe. But if you need to get to the court's pay window, you can get in to do that. Beyond that, community development, they're in the City Hall annex just down the sidewalk from us. Their building's not going to be open to the public, but they are continuing to work. They've never stopped, so they'll be continuing to provide virtual services. If you need anything to do with our building department, planning and zoning, you can fill out applications and different things online. If you need to drop something off in person, they've got a Dropbox kind of process they're going to have set up where you can still come in and drop stuff off if you need to. But they're not going to be opening the lobby to the public right now. So it's a very limited opening at City Hall, very limited opening from city facilities. And at all of those facilities, we're going to have things in place to emphasize social distancing when you're in those public places, emphasize, staying apart, hand sanitizers, lots of different safety measures to make sure anybody who does get out and come to interact will be safe and continue to be safe. And in the end, I think that's what we're going to be emphasizing everywhere is the continued social distancing practices, whether everything starts to open back up or whether they extend the shelter in place again. I think social distancing is probably our new default. It's probably going to be a reality of some sort for some time now. So we're going to continue to kind of push those thoughts and ideas and just stay distant, stay safe. We mentioned Hunter Park testing, the drive-through testing. They've expanded some of those testing a little bit. So I think they're open Monday through Friday, like 8:30 to 5 now, some time on Saturdays, 9 to noon, I believe. And they've expanded it to pretty much anyone who has any of the symptoms is eligible for the testing now. It was very limited in the beginning. They've expanded it. If you got any of the symptoms at all, you're eligible for the drive-through testing at Hunter Park. If you're a Cobb or Douglas resident, you do need to call or contact Cobb Douglas Public Health. You can call or you can go to their website, fill out some forms there. You have to get an appointment from them in order to go, but it is open to everyone. You just have to get that appointment. So we'll put in the information in the show notes for the phone number and the website and everything you need to know about that. I think that covers all the new information we've got. So we're going to say we covered all that, and we're going to move on to Aaron, who's got hopefully a little bit more fun stuff we can talk about. So what's up?
I think that stuff was very intriguing. I'm probably going to rewatch that when I get home just for that portion because it was that exciting.
I'm going to put it on a loop in the background, just play it here in the office.
There you go. Don't play it on the loudspeaker though. Not everyone wants to hear it. So we have a couple of things going on in the city still. So next week, the Douglasville CVB, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, is going to be celebrating National Travel and Tourism Week. So that starts on May 3rd and goes through May 9th. Most of their things are going to be virtual, so they're going to have all kinds of things on their social media. So follow the Visit Douglasville Facebook page and some of the other pages. They're going to start everything off, it looks like, with a virtual travel rally on Tuesday at 10 a.m. So you can you can visit the Visit Douglasville Facebook page for information on how to join that. And then on May 8th, they're going to have the Light It Up Red campaign, which local businesses and landmarks and things are going to light up red to signify that they're ready for visitors to return. So if you get that little pun there, that's a fun play on words. So that'll be kind of some of the things that they're doing. So make sure that you follow them on social media and follow along with everything that's going on with National Travel and Tourism Week. Then Next, the chamber announced their virtual restaurant week. So I think you can buy a virtual restaurant dining card on their website. It's $20, and it gets you access to a bunch of specials that chamber restaurants are running throughout the duration. So you can go to Blue Rose, Carrabba's, all of those restaurants. So log on to their website for all the information on that. I think it runs longer than a week. I think if you get the card, it runs for, I don't know, months and months. So
Yeah.
make
And I
sure
think is that one tied to the Douglas Strong campaign that they're
Yes. Yep. So that was kind of I was going to say last is that it supports local restaurants and the frontline healthcare workers. So proceeds from each card will go both to the restaurants and then kind of the healthcare people who've done so many good things throughout this weird time.
Yeah, that's a cool program. We talked about it a little last episode where they're taking the money that comes into that and they're going out and they're supporting the local restaurants by buying food from the local restaurants and then taking it and feeding all these frontline responders.
Which is awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good deal. So now you can do some good and get some coupons.
That's right. Get some good deals. So, and there's a lot of deals on there. So make sure that you check it out.
Nice.
And then we wanted to touch on a couple of local nonprofits and service providers in the community that are doing some good things. The Good Samaritan Center has stayed open in the mornings, Monday through Friday, and they're still helping to deliver food to those who can't go out and get it themselves. So, it's a big deal for people who, maybe they don't have transportation or they don't have the means to get out and go to the grocery store themselves. So
yeah,
make sure to support the Good Samaritan Center. And then the pantry here in Douglasville and Douglas County has modified their distribution system. So I think they were a food pantry. And so instead of going into their pantry, they set up a drive-through system. So folks who need to can still, get their food that way. And then, they're still working and they're still, whoa, there we go. I don't know what's happening over here. Anyways, rolling right along. So, and then finally, the Douglas Connect is driving individuals. I don't know what's happening to my background, but it's really distracting. Anyways, the Douglas Connect is driving people who are shut in, who don't have transportation or can't get to their doctor's appointments, or maybe they can't get to the grocery store or food pantry to pick up food. You can call them and they'll come pick you up and take you where you need to go. So that's a big service for those who can't travel either. And then one of the things that I forgot to mention, and it reminded me when my background was going haywire, is that the Douglasville CVB has created a couple of Zoom backgrounds that you can download to kind of promote some of the hot spots. So there's the conference center that you can see here. There's Sweetwater. There's the kind of the downtown landscape across, you can see the railroad tracks and then Gumbo's in the background. And then I believe there's one more. I think it's Gabe's maybe. If you want to find out the fourth one, you can log on to the CVB's website at visitdouglasville.com and see what that last one is. And you can download all four. It doesn't take but 2 seconds. So little plug for them.
Wait. So you're not really broadcasting from in front of the conference center?
I'm not, and it's not like
That's
disappearing.
not real behind you?
Yeah, it's not disappearing like it just did randomly. And so there we go. Not sure if it's the sun that's affecting that or what, but anyways, fun stuff. And then last but not least, don't forget about the census. The census is very important for our community to make sure that everyone's counted, and it kind of, it affects the funding that we can receive from state and federal government. So That's very important. The national self-response rate right now is at 54%. The state of Georgia is at 51, so the state is a little under the national average, but the Douglas County self-response rate right now is at 56.9. So we're pretty well above the national average even. So that's great, but we still need to keep going. Over the weekend, we're gonna have some things on our social media to remind you. So if you have filled out the census, that's great, but make sure that you're sharing those census kind of ads to your friends and your network. So hopefully we can get everyone to fill out the census. And so if you haven't filled out the census, you can log on to 2020census.gov and just follow the prompts. It's very easy, very quick. Doesn't take but 5 minutes. So make sure that you go out and do that. And then one update that they've sent out is that the revised self-response deadline is October 31st. But census takers are going to start coming door to door on August 11. So if you don't want people knocking at your door, bothering you, fill out the census and they won't come. And if they do come, you can tell them that you already filled it out and laugh in their face and close the door. So that wraps up everything for me. Hopefully my background will stay normal now. And
Have to do the robot occasionally. It's fine.
Yeah, I may or may not do that anyways. So anyways, that's all I have.
So when you're talking about the census, we talked a little about before about what all the census impacts, and we talked about how it impacts, your local stuff and a lot to do with, funding and dollars, and it even affects like community programs, community organizations who are out doing outreach type stuff. So joining us today is an organization like that that is going to benefit from the data that we're gathering and stuff, so they know better how to serve our community. So joining us is Miss Bianca Ashwalker and Miss Nicole Lawson from United Way. We're going to talk a little bit about all the wonderful things you guys are doing to support our community during this time, right? So who wants to start?
I'll let Nicole go.
Awesome.
I'll jump right in. So thanks for having us. So Bianca and I represent the United Way of Greater Atlanta, and specifically the Northwest region, of which Douglas is one of the counties that we are proud to serve. And so United Way has been around here in the Atlanta region since 1905. And so bringing people and resources together to address community needs. And so that's never been more important than now. So around the time that this crisis started to occur here in the Atlanta region, the United Way of Greater Atlanta and the Community Foundation for Greater Atlanta came together and created the Greater Atlanta COVID Fund for response and relief. And so to date, over $24 million has been donated to this fund, which is just amazing. Just the outreach and the kindness of our community and our corporate partners and foundations to support that effort. And so we are busy making those grants into the community to ensure that our nonprofits and our community organizations that are on those front lines, providing those services, have what they need to be able to continue to serve our community. And so we're grateful for that and encourage anyone who's wanting to get involved, right? So you can go online to unitedwayatlanta.org and you can volunteer, seek out volunteer opportunities, whether you want to do those from your home where you are, or you want to go out and you want to serve in person. We have some of those following all of the guidelines to keep everyone safe. We also have 211, which is a resource center that is available for anyone looking for assistance in their area. So it connects that individual based on their zip code and the need they have with resources to assist them. Super easy. You can go online, you can chat, search the online database, or we encourage you to text as well. Call volume is high. So if you do call, there can be, unfortunately, an extended wait for that. But a great resource anytime that there's a need, but especially now. And then the other thing we're doing that we're excited about is that every Thursday morning at 7:55 a.m., we come together with the Douglas Chamber and Georgia Power, and we host a virtual nonprofit roundtable. So we invite the nonprofits serving in Douglas to come together and talk and share. What are your needs? What are your resources? How can we work together? And so it's been just remarkable. We had 30 people join us this morning, connections made, working together. And so that's been really, I think, helpful to be able to connect each other with one another during this time.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, the 30 different charitable organizations coming together is a big number. I mean, that's a lot. So that's awesome. I mean, and United Way knows the power of, kind of consolidating your efforts. Absolutely. So, I mean, you guys were able to impact so many more people when you're working together. And there's definitely a need out there. But what's always great, and on all these shows, we've talked about all the different things happening. What's always great is the need is there. But especially here in Douglasville, Douglas County, we've seen the people willing to step up is also there, which we love about Douglasville and Douglas County is the people are always wanting to find ways to help. So I think it's great. Yeah.
We actually had quite a few people mention that on the call this morning. It's just the collaboration and having one central place that they can come to get the information. So you may not know a certain organization is doing something, and you hop on the call and you're like, oh, great. Now I know who I need to refer people to. So that's been really, really great of seeing the collaboration and everybody coming together and say, oh, I have that. You need that. I have it already. Let me get it to you. Let me figure out how to get it to you. I didn't know that you did that. So it's been really, really good just having that whole collaboration, having that conversation. I know that 7:55 can be early for some people.
Us included.
Us included, definitely. We have our moments where we have to kind of be like, okay, wait, do we have everything? Okay, we're good. But it's been really, really good just to hear the feedback and stuff. And we send out notes after each call. So they go out to everyone that's registered. So even if you register and for some reason you're not able to make the call, the notes will still go out to you so that you can kind of see what the different organizations are doing and, where their needs are. So it's been really, really good.
Absolutely. And you mentioned 7:55 being early, but it's a virtual call, right? So it's 7:55 from your living room.
Still early.
That's right. No traffic, right?
Unless there's
great
bed, maybe.
For some people who are not quite morning people, myself included, it could be, a little bit of an adjustment, but just make a bigger thing of tea and you're okay.
There you
go for the morning, and it works out. It works out just fine. You just come together. But once everybody's there, you feel the energy. So it naturally wakes you up because you get excited to see what everybody is doing. Like Nicole said, we do these in multiple counties that we cover. So it's been really, really great just to see overall, how everyone's come together and helping each other. So it's been great. It's been really awesome. Good.
Yeah, we've been talking about a lot about how we've kind of leaned into all this technology and stuff to kind of still get together. And I think when we get through this, we're going to be able to find that this gives us an opportunity to come together in ways maybe we couldn't have before, even when this is not a COVID type situation. I mean, talked about 30 different charitable organizations coming together in one meeting. That's a logistical issue, if you're trying to physically meet in one place. So it's kind of thrust us into a place where we've had to figure it all out. And now we figured it out. So as we move on, we're like, hey, now we have the ability to get mass numbers of people together, which we couldn't really logistically figure out how to do before. So I think we're going to come out the other side of this with some great things that we can kind of hang on to and stuff. And I've been loving this.
Yeah, agree. Yeah. It's that, we couldn't do it before. I'm not sure. I can't make this because it's a time constraint. And now it's just like, I can, get on my laptop, get on my phone. And, even if I'm not physically there, I can listen in and I can still get the information that I need. So definitely.
Might not have an hour to drive into town or to the other side of town to go to the meeting and another hour back, but I've got the hour.
Hop on the call. Yep.
So
it's been good.
So, well, what else you guys got going on?
We are just here to serve. So working with, those nonprofits and what they need and helping to make those connections. And that's really, United Way has been known for being strategic partner, philanthropic partner, strategic investor in the community, but really a collaborator and convener and connector, which is where we see these nonprofit roundtables really being something that we can help facilitate and work together collaboratively to hopefully serve the community better and support those nonprofits in the work that they are doing in the community. So that's been great. And so we love Zoom calls, right? And and so this is, you can find us right on Zoom most days right now, but we look forward to being able to get together again in person and really be a part of the community in that way again, hopefully very soon. Very soon.
Yeah.
Nicole, you want to talk a little more about the virtual town hall the United Way of Greater Atlanta is going to be hosting?
Thank you. So good. So good. United Way of Greater Atlanta is hosting a virtual town hall next Thursday, May 7th at 2 p.m. And so we would love, everyone is invited, come join us. You can find out the details and to register for that link on our website, which is unitedwayatlanta.org. And that's where you can also find just a host of resources too. So we've got a COVID resource page that has everything from just health, information, medical information, but also utilities and school links and food pantries. So no matter where you are, you can find information that hopefully will help you with what you're seeking. There, again, volunteer opportunities. So there is such a great desire to help. And so whether you give a donation to an organization or you give of your time, you can do that at home, and you can engage your families too. So if you've got kids or you've got teenagers, they all need things, right? Keep them busy. So let us help you with that. There are lots of opportunities where you can come together and serve from your home.
Yep. And if there's something that there's not on there that you don't see, you can always email myself or Nicole. We're your local representative, so we're always available and we can get that information to you. We can research it and make sure that they have it. So we want to be able to make sure the community knows that we're here for whatever needs that they have. So
very nice.
Great.
That is awesome. So we do appreciate all that you guys particularly and United Way does to continue to serve the community. And you brought up a great point, Nicole, that there are things that you can do while you're at home. So if you're at home and you've run out of things to do with the kids, you've finished all of your digital learning and school is about to end, so you're going to be needing more stuff to do with the kids. You can do these projects, even if you're assembling, care packages or whatever projects that United Way might have available. You can do some projects at home so you have something you can do. Because you're probably running out, right?
There's a fantastic one where I have a middle schooler, so we need to stay busy, and so there is an opportunity where you can read and record yourself. I'm reading a storybook, and you can even dress up. You can have props, and you can share that, and that's through our Youth United initiative, and so that is on her agenda this week. I'm like, oh, we can read some storybooks. And so we can do that. And so again, just lots of creative, different ways to engage based on your interest too, so that you can serve in a meaningful way for you.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Awesome. So good. So good. And we'll put all the information in the show notes stuff, links to United Way's website where you can find out all the things happening. So just as we start to wrap up the show, we like to end on a kind of fun note. So you talked about all the service projects you're doing at home, the different things like that. But what about just for fun? We've been sheltered in place for a little while in quarantine, kind of at home with the families and the kids. You mentioned you have middle schoolers, and I think Bianca, you said you were a newlywed. But what have you guys been doing while you're just kind of stuck at home with nothing to do? What are you doing to entertain yourself? Board games, movies,
We've been doing a lot of board games as the newlywed. So yes, I'm a newlywed. July will be 1 year. So we've gotten very creative in our quarantine. Thank you, Aaron. Quarantine time, just because this is probably the most time we've spent together. So it's been really interesting. There's no real definition of separation, which is fine. Love my husband. So we've gotten creative. So we're Scrabble people anyway. So we do a lot of board games. So Scrabble has become an very intense competition in our house, also amongst our family members out of state. So it's been very interesting to see. We've been doing a little Netflix here and there. So Money Heist, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it is a great series. We started it a while ago and binge watched this current season literally in one day. So yeah, so it's all about money laundering and it's got a little violence, but there's a little romance to it. So it kind of gives you a little bit of everything. So board games is probably our big deal. We do a little bit of TV, but more than anything, the games have definitely come very intense in our house. My husband thinks that he is the champion. Not really the case. But you know, I like to think that he is. But yeah, so that's been, and then trying not to eat all the snacks. I feel like we're going to the store way too often for snacks. So we just decided, just stop it. We're just not gonna do that. So we've gotten creative with smoothies and other things so that we're not eating a bunch of junk right now.
Yeah.
So that's been fun.
That's probably the hardest part about having to stay home.
Yeah, you find yourself just randomly eating stuff, like even if you're not necessarily really hungry. I'm like, why do I have this bag of chips right here? Like
it like fills the time kind of.
Yeah, I'm like, what is happening?
Weird.
I'm like, this is not healthy. This is not good. So
eat out of boredom now. That's not
yeah. So
we've been
trying to monitor some of that because I don't do too much outside. I have really bad allergies, so the pollen is also not my friend right now. So he gets out a little bit more than I do. But board games, lots and lots of different games have been great for us.
You have like a newlywed, you know, they thrust you right in. I hope you really like this guy because you're now spending every waking moment together. Good luck.
Yeah.
It is definitely, we laugh. We were like, oh, we did not know that this is what we were going to go into first year of marriage.
Yeah.
We're really glad that we've got a stable friendship first because it could, because he's at home. So I was home for a couple of weeks before he got home in terms of working from home. So I had a little bit of time to kind of manage my schedule, but then he's in and I'm like, wait, now you're throwing off my schedule because now you want lunch. And I have to make you lunch, whereas I could just randomly eat whatever I wanted. So it's been hilarious right now. So, but good times for the newlyweds.
What about you down there, Nicole? How are you entertaining the kids and stuff?
Hey, we opposite of Bianca, we're outside as much as possible, right? Take the Claritin and out we go. So running, we have bikes and we have never ridden those bikes so much until recently, which I'm like, I'm so glad I made that investment a couple years ago. So doing that, lots of cooking at home, but I have to tell you, I'm over that. And I think she's over my cooking too, to be honest. And I heard you talking about Gabe's and I was like, oh, I mean, that is like my place in Douglas.
Whenever
anyone I need to have a meeting, I'm like, how about we meet at Gabe's for lunch? I'll still there. I can't do Mondays because they're not open on Mondays, right? But love the restaurants in Douglas. They're so good. So looking forward to getting back to those too. But board games too, Scrabble, like, you know, really perfecting my Scrabble skills right now against my middle schooler. Anxiously awaiting to go out and do things again.
I'll say, just as a note, Nicole is an amazing cookie baker. And so when we were, she makes amazing cookies. She creates all these lovely recipes. So staff-wise, we used to look forward to our Monday meetings because we knew she was bringing cookies. So that is more than anything, that's what I'm excited about getting back to see what kind of cookies Nicole is going to bring us. Because
they're coming.
Downside of virtual meetings, I guess, right there.
Yes,
Indian cookie.
it was great. Like, yes, she
We
made
haven't
these
been
brownie
making
kind of
them.
ones.
We haven't been making them because it's just us. And I'm like, we can't have all these cookies in the house. Like,
Why not?
quarantine snacks, right? Like, eat all the cookies. So
I think when we go back to the face-to-face format, we know who our first guest is going to be.
I got you covered.
So yeah,
Got you
so
covered.
we like snacks here, so
I'll meet
just
you at
throwing that
Gates
one
for
out.
lunch and I'll bring the
Okay.
cookies. How about that?
You've twisted our arm.
Yeah.
She makes really good. She's giving us our own little Tupperware, so we just kind of give it back, and she fills it back.
that.
It's
Back
great.
up.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
My wife makes a monster cookie that's got a lot of. It's mostly oatmeal, so that's not bad for you, right? So you can rationalize eating those for breakfast or whenever.
Whatever.
Sure. I think
All
so.
times of the day.
Right.
I think it
Or
works
M&M
perfect.
too, but awesome. All right. Well, that is awesome. I thank you guys for joining us and telling us all about everything that United Way has got going on and all the fun you guys are doing while you're hunkered down. So we'll put all your contact information in our show notes, and producer Steve will get it all listed there so people can connect with you, connect with United Way, and connect with everything that is happening in and around our community. So thank you again, Bianca and Nicole, for joining us. Thanks, Aaron. No, you're down below me. There we go. Thanks, Aaron.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for all watching and listening. Don't forget you can watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on any of the podcast platforms out there. So you can subscribe to us. Go ahead and give us a good rating. That would help as well. And share the show out. Let more people know what's going on in and around our community. And until next time, you guys have a good week. Stay safe. Stay smart. Practice social distancing. And eventually we'll see you out there. See you next time on Douglasville Impact. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
All right.
Great job.
Enough, right?
Yes. Just over 32 minutes. Great job, Bianca and Nicole. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank
Oh,
you.
and you too, Aaron.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
I will send you guys links to the audio and the video version if you want to share it out. It's up to you, but
On our page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was to say I shared it out the last time.
yeah,
so-
right. Yeah, we appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll be tagging you guys again. I mean, you guys are, that's the great thing about United Way is you guys have your finger on the pulse of everything that's happening. It's because it all funnels through you at some point. So we really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
you.
Glad we could be here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Well, thanks everybody. You
Thanks.
guys have a great one.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.